What's going on, guys? Today I want to talk to you about my journey in losing weight and how that helped me spiritually. So I'm pretty sure we all been there, where we are trying to build a new habit, we are trying to work out and go to the gym, and we end up falling and failing miserably. That was me for about 2 to 3 years. I kept trying and nothing was working because ultimately I ended up giving up, didn't have enough time, and didn't have enough commitment. So what made a difference? What changed in my life that enabled me to keep a consistent schedule and habit formation? So one of the things that made a difference was waking up early. And I watched so many videos and wasted so many minutes trying to figure out how to wake up early. I did all the tricks, leaving your phone somewhere else or far away, leaving your phone in the bathroom, tried it all, and nothing was working. What was the solution? What is the key of waking up early? It's simple, just to go to sleep early. It doesn't have to be complicated. We make it complicated most of the time. So just from that, I ended up realizing is that the simple things is what's gonna get me where I want it to be. Building this simple habit as waking up early in the morning is what allowed me to work out, because I worked out when everybody else was sleeping. And I didn't have the responsibilities that I have in the afternoon. I didn't have to do anything in the morning except for work out. I had no other choice. You might be asking yourself, what does this have to do with my spiritual walk? And I'll get there. So one of the things that I did, which was simple, is lay out my gym clothes for the next day. So I lay down what I was going to be wearing. I also bought myself some gym clothes just to get some motivation going. I made it obvious. Right? I didn't make it hard. I made it obvious. I got up early in the morning and my clothes was already there. So all I had to do is change. The other thing that I did is I made it attractive. I played music that I loved. I listened to some sort of Bible plan to spend time with God during the gym or on my way to the gym, which was rewarding because I was hitting 2 birds with 1 stone. At first, it took me a while, but I stopped overworking myself. I stopped overworking my muscles and I took it easy. I took it 1 step at a time. I lowered down the weight and I went day by day, week by week, month by month. And I ended up getting stronger and getting where I wanted to be. Satisfaction also played a big role because it influenced me to continue moving forward, losing the weight, losing sizes on pants, and going back to the shirts that I thought that were not going to fit me and now they did, was very satisfying. So instead of saying I'm going to lose 100 pounds in 3 months, I started waking up early and I allowed myself to have that time to put in the work. I stopped focusing on the weight part and I started focusing on the everyday habits that I could build that would get me there eventually. Was it from day to night? No. Did it take some time? Yes. But sometimes spiritually, we often want things from day to night, and we expect miracles from day to night when we have not put in the work. We expect God to randomly change our habits when we are not even willing to read His Word. We expect God to randomly change our thoughts when we are not willing to even spend prayer time with Him. We expect God to take the anxiety away, to take the depression away, but we don't spend time with God. So I ended up realizing that the small things, the small instructions matter. Naaman was a commander of Syria. You can find his story in 2 Kings chapter 5. He has leprosy and he is sick and he is very rich as well. He went to the healers and nothing was improving in his situation. So what ended up happening is that a girl ended up telling him about Elijah. When he went to Elijah, he got simple steps. Go wash yourself 7 times in the Jordan River. He got mad. He got pissed. Ultimately said, I have better rivers in Syria. Why would I wash myself in the muddy, dirty Jordan River? Little did he know is that he was going to be completely healed if he followed these simple steps. In the same way, sometimes in our lives, we aim high but fail to look into implementing simple steps. Maybe the key of overcoming depression and overcoming those voices and overcoming anxiety is to spend more time with God. But I've tried it many times and I failed completely again and again and again and again. Probably because you are chewing more than you can bite. Naaman ultimately was helped by the people surrounding him. They convinced him to follow the simple steps, which he ended up doing. And guess what? He ended up being healed completely. In Romans 12:2, the Bible tells us that we need to renew our mind. And this is not a every week, every month. This is a daily thing that we need to implement. The Bible also tells us in Galatians 3:2 to set our mind on the things that are above and not of this world. Simple steps matter. So instead of saying 100 pounds in 3 weeks, slow down and focus on just consistently going to the gym or consistently building a prayer habit or a reading habit. Instead of aiming to read one book a week, maybe start with reading 5 minutes a day. Instead of saying, I'm gonna pray 1 hour a day, start with praying 5 minutes a day. I guarantee you that as you implement these simple steps in your daily day, it would eventually open up a window for more opportunities to grow in that habit that you are trying to build. The other thing that I ended up realizing is that I was being so harsh on myself. Usually when we are building a new habit, we will have failure. And sometimes even when we are trying to break out of negative habits, we completely give up when we fail once or twice. The reality is that we fall right in the trap of the enemy when we decide to dwell in our failure and not on what Jesus has done for us and it has given us to overcome those bad habits. I want you to remember that the spirit that is living inside of you is stronger than any spirit that is in this world or of this world. We have not been given a spirit of fear. We should not be afraid to make changes in our lives. So just because you fall once doesn't mean that you have to give up and relapse for 3 to 4 to 6 months. Or just because you failed on your New Year resolution doesn't mean that you cannot start over again before the year ends. Ultimately, what you need to realize is that habits will make up who you are. If you have good habits, then you will have good outcomes. If you have bad habits, then you will have bad outcome. This is the law of nature. You reap what you sow. So 1, remember, small steps lead to bigger accomplishments. 2, keep it simple. It doesn't have to be that complicated. And 3, have mercy on yourself. Have grace and give yourself the opportunity to try again. Thank you so much for being with me today.